Okay, so let's talk about glass. Today I'm going to go ahead and try and get this guy in. It's got chrome, that's the American style, versus the cow look, which doesn't have the chrome, which is much easier actually. The chrome is really, really tough. And I'm going to use something, instead of using dish soap, I'm going to use this rubber lubricant to see how that goes. It's called RuGlyde, it's from Napa. And the wire that I'm going to be using is this stuff I also got from Napa. It's basically 20 gauge primary wire. We'll see how it all goes. This yellowish tint, I'll go ahead and take the rubber and stuff it on in there and see how it goes. So sloshing it around a few times and rotating it and stuff seems to have gotten a good coat across the entire thing. Plus it looks like the unintentional cleaning of the rubber as well. Start to put it back in place. I have noticed that it is much more pliant and submissive and infinitely cleaner as well. Show you a before shot of what it used to look like. You know, you had these trace elements of brownness inside of it. This one I'm going to have to redo as well after I give it the lubrication treatment. These things are really tough to put in if you got chrome. So let's see how it goes. So everything's in place. Boy, it just really wanted to snap right in a happy land compared to previous tries. And I've got two cables here sticking out. It's one cable, of course, and I put it on the innermost lip here. Make sure it's tucked all the way in, all the way around, and that both ends are sticking out. And I'm going to start from the top and see how it goes. I can't center it any better than that. I think got a little bit of a gap at the top, more or less flush at the bottom, and both the little red ends are sticking out at the top, and we're ready to go. Less than a minute later, just like that, it goes right into place. I'll have to fix up the headliner there. It's always a challenge. On the inside it looks great. Let's see what it looks like on the outside. And wow, that is a perfect seal. Look at that thing. Just got to pound it in the middle. Otherwise, wow, this thing went in. I don't have to use a mallet or anything. I just punched it in and it went right in, and looks nice and it's perfect. You just can't get any better than that. Just lift up a little bit on the lip here where it kind of missed, and there. But boy, what a difference a sunny day makes, huh? Get this last little bit up. I just wrapped a piece of tape around a tiny little screwdriver. Lift it up. If you're careful, should be no problem. Both of them look like they're great. And so I could sing sonnets about the dental pick. It's a really good way to pry back the rubber, and then of course you just tuck it on in there. There's the last of it. It could probably use a little cleanup, but for the most part I think we've saved the headliner. I thought it was destroyed, and it's installed. Time to put in the dash and move on with the project. Okay, it's the back window's turn. I changed out that water and it looks like it was just as dirty as the front windshield, which was kind of surprising. And it looks like the chrome's all in place, and it's about to rain. So here we go. Before I start the back windows, just want to point something out here. I did actually try to get someone to help me out the last time I put it in, and the condition it was in you just saw. When he was pushing it in, he kind of used a little too much force to the point to where it kind of pinched this lip. And as I was pulling the wire through, it actually tore out a chunk. You can see it right here. And also tore out a chunk over here at the top near the headliner. So I don't know, maybe it's a better thing to do by yourself. Okay, the window's in position. It's kind of more or less flush as you can be. Great deal of the seal is evenly distributed all the way around. Make sure you got equidistance along both sides of the chrome. You don't want one rotated around. You don't want to see any chrome exposed at the corners, you know, where it seats into the rubber. So all four corners here are flush, and it's reasonably settled in. I've kind of leaned into it to make sure it's down all the way, and we'll hop inside, start from the top. And so if you start at the top and go evenly down the sides, I think that is the key, kids, because it snapped right into place. And this is the first time I'm looking at the back. Looks like we lost some of the chrome, but I think we can hammer that in. But otherwise the seal looks good. We'll pound it in, see what happens. Even with a mallet, it's kind of hard to get it in there, so we're just going to pop it out and give it another go. Here's a go number 3 or 4, I'm not sure. But I've had to snip the wire because, oh, long story. But anyways, I Still happy wire. By the way, I found the length of that wire. If you go from the center point of the front hubcap to the taillights, that's a decent length. I think that's a reasonable, it gives you about 2.5 feet of extra play. So here we go again. Right, I think we have ourselves a success. I just got the neighbor over, and all he did was simply apply a little pressure here on the chrome part here, simultaneously doing so down here as well while I pulled it in, and everything is snapped in place beautifully. So that's it. Front, back. Not the best upholstery job I've ever done, but hey, it is my first time. We'll revisit it maybe in about 5 years or so. And yeah, a good day.